Welcome language learners from all around the globe to Listen Up, the podcast that takes you on a captivating voyage through the English language. Whether you've just started your journey or have been navigating the intricacies of English for some time, this podcast is designed to be your trusty compass, guiding you towards fluency and unlocking the wonders of English. I'm your host, Karen, a passionate traveller and an experienced teacher of English as a second language. Join me as we embark on an exciting expedition filled with British history read by a native speaker. Together, we'll conquer the challenges and celebrate the victories of learning English as a foreign language. Each episode of Listen Up will immerse you in a variety of topics, from aspects of British culture, history, and literature. We'll explore useful vocabulary that will empower you to communicate confidently in English. If you want to read along with the podcast, head to my website www.onepawinthesand.com/ESL. The link is in the description. But this podcast isn't just about learning English in isolation. It's about building a community of language learners, supporting one another, and fostering a love of the English language. I encourage you to engage with us through my Patreon page, where you can connect with fellow learners, ask questions, and share your own language journey. So, whether you're sipping tea in Tokyo, walking the streets in Sao Paulo, or studying in a bustling cafe in Berlin, Listen Up is here to accompany you on your quest for English fluency. Join me as we embark on this transformative expedition, where language becomes an adventure and your dreams of effective communication become a reality. Today's episode is called Lost 11 Days. The passage of time is a constant in our lives, but the way we measure it has evolved over the centuries. One significant change stands out: the adoption of the Gregorian calendar. This transformation had a profound impact on the way we organise and reckon time. Before the Gregorian calendar, the Julian calendar, introduced by Julius Caesar in 45 BCE, was widely used in Europe. However, over time, a problem became apparent. The Julian calendar did not accurately account for the length of the solar year. It overestimated the year by about 11 minutes and 14 seconds. While this might seem insignificant on a daily basis, over centuries it resulted in a significant discrepancy. By the 16th century, this discrepancy had led to the calendar drifting out of sync with the seasons. Religious festivals, especially Easter, were deeply tied to the calendar, and the discrepancy caused Easter to drift further away from the spring equinox. This was a matter of great concern to the Catholic Church, which was eager to ensure that Easter continued to be celebrated in its proper season. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced a reform to the calendar to rectify these issues. He issued a papal bull titled Inter Gravissimas, which laid the groundwork for what we now know as the Gregorian calendar. This calendar corrected the Julian calendar's error by removing 10 days and making adjustments to the leap year system. Despite the papal bull being issued in 1582, it took several decades for the Gregorian calendar to be adopted outside of Catholic Europe. In Britain, the transition did not occur until 1752, nearly 2 centuries after the initial reform. The British Empire was using the Julian calendar, which was out of sync with the rest of Europe. To realign the calendar, the British government enacted the Calendar New Style Act of 1750. This act stipulated that the day following September 2nd, 1752, would be September 14th, 1752. This adjustment brought Britain in line with the Gregorian calendar used by most of the world, but it also led to some unique historical quirks. The transition from September 3rd to September 14th in 1752 was not without controversy. Some people felt that they had been robbed of 11 days of their lives, and there were reports of protests and riots on this day, 14th of September. However, the Gregorian calendar ultimately proved to be the more accurate system for measuring time, aligning dates more closely with the astronomical events. Today, the Gregorian calendar is the most widely used calendar system in the world. It plays a crucial role in our daily lives, from scheduling appointments to organizing international events. The adjustment from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar represents a pivotal moment in the history of timekeeping and exemplifies humanity's constant quest for precision and accuracy in understanding the passage of time. And that wraps up another episode of Listen Up. I hope you enjoyed learning about my topic today and practicing your English. Remember, the exploration doesn't have to end here. If you have any lingering questions or want to continue the conversation, I've got some great opportunities for you. First off, I offer private lessons for those of you eager to expand your knowledge further, whether it's practicing today's subject or exploring other topics. I'm here to guide you on your English journey. Reach out to me through my website or social media platforms, and let's embark on a personalized learning experience together. I have been involved with training people for more than 10 years. I've been teaching English as a second language for over a year, in which time I have taught over 500 students, many of whom are regulars. But wait, there's more. If you're a devoted fan of Listen Up and want to show your support, consider joining our Patreon community. Your contribution directly helps us bring you more episodes and maintain the quality of our show. Your support truly means the world to me, and we couldn't continue this podcast without you. So whether you choose private lessons or Patreon, or both, I look forward to staying connected and exploring the fascinating realms of English as a second language together. Thank you once again for joining us on Listen Up. Until next time, keep practicing.